What happens when you have no objectives such as to fuel up a generator or to eliminate a final boss after wave of specific infected, and are instead left to survive on your own and with a bunch of other random survivors, who can be both as traitors or as allies? Well, this is the Apocalypse, where it is basically a game where survival is based on your decisions, luck, and skills. Here's How to Apocalypse. The game starts off with basically this screen where a bunch of maps are placed in front of you, and you're probably thinking, what the hell is this? This is where you basically get to choose what map you want to play, and you basically have to vote for whatever map you want to play, and whichever map has the most amount of votes between all the other players and you is basically the map you will be playing for the rest of your life. Now off to basically the second the game starts. You'll be greeted by the loadout screen, and you may be thinking, oh sweet, you get to have like a bunch of stuff. Hold your horses there. This is basically your loadout, where you basically get to select what you want to start with as, well, basically literally as the game starts, aka literally right at this second. So you basically want to be fast on what you want to choose. However, you can't just choose willy-nilly, because I mean, some of the stuff is actually going to take up a large majority of your space. So you basically have to be really frugal about what you want to choose, like for an example, a water bottle, a pistol, I highly recommend, and a bunch of other stuff. And I'm just not even going to explain like how the currency works. I'm just going to say just basically choose what you want to choose, and eventually you'll just get the hang of it. And obviously there's like a bunch of other good stuff like Chainsaw and Python. However, those are obviously game passes, because every single game needs a game pass. Am I right, lad, or am I right, lad?
You are right, lad.
Next up, we have your specific goal as the game starts after you select your loadouts. Well, you have one objective actually, and it seems quite simple. Survive until 7 a.m. And no, don't worry, I'm not talking about actual time, because if that was the case, then literally this would be practically impossible, because who the hell would have 7 hours of their lives to not really do anything and basically set aside for this game? Anyway, so basically survive for 7 hours, and basically you're probably thinking that the time is super slow. However, not really. Every single second is basically is basically turned into 1 minute. So you basically have to survive for around 7 minutes in, well, game time and in real time in order to make it to 7 a.m. Which sounds quite simple, so sorry FNAF fans, it's not 6 a.m., 7 a.m., so you're not getting turned on by this. And you may be thinking that that might be simple enough, survive until 7 a.m, kind of like Level Survival, where you have to survive a certain amount of time in order to basically get to the rescue vehicle or whatever to complete your objective. However, there's a bit of a problem with that. Alright, this comes up to our next point, which is the enemies. You are not alone, obviously, you have your allies there, who can obviously be traitors, or it can be people you can actually be relatively friends with. And what I mean traitors is sometimes they'll just steal a gun right in front of you, steal your loot that you're trying to like organize in your inventory, and specifically leave you for dead and not help you while you're being eaten alive. Those types of traitors, okay? And there is the enemies that I need to talk about, and those are zombies. Now, I'm not gonna tell that they're infected, because they're not infected, they are zombies. I'm just gonna let this guy explain what's the difference between those two.
They must have died or already be dead and then be reanimated into a zombie. Number 2, they have the desire to consume flesh or brains of a living creature, mostly humans. Sometimes they do animals, but in most cases it's just humans. Number 3, do not require basic human necessities like eating, drinking, and sleeping to survive. They can pretty much live indefinitely without major organs or appendages until killed. Number 1, the infection needs the host alive, and the infected are basically normal human beings in the regard of their body, not their mind. Number 2, they do not desire human flesh, but actually work to spread the infection and or brutalize a survivor to death, whichever comes first, because they can't really infect someone they killed by beating to death. Number 3, the infected are still biologically living mammals and need food, water, and rest to survive long term. Because of this, their life expectancy after infection can last between a few weeks to a month or two before dying out.
Now that you know the difference, we're basically going to go ahead and talk about these infected, or zombies, god damn it. And these zombies are relatively simple and have very easy mechanics to actually know. The first off is of course the walker, which is basically just a regular zombie with no special abilities, such as the fact that he doesn't even sprint and you can relatively easily take them down. However, they're usually in groups, so there's that, not really big of a deal there. Then we have the crawlers, god damn it, I can't get away from them. And these guys are basically the same as walkers, however they're just crawling on the floor, and for whatever reason their hitboxes, aka like what's it called, them trying to claw at you, is superiorly long, so you can literally be like a meter away from them and they could still damage you, which is completely just bogus. And so you want to keep over that, but they're not really a big deal after all. Then we have your other arch nemesis who you definitely want to be feared for, or you definitely want to fear, and that is the Dynamite. So it's basically the zombie holding a dynamite, and that's about it. There's not much to this Dynamite dude. However, the Dynamite is actually a relatively great infected, or zombie, god damn it. And basically the zombie instantly blows up as soon as you get close to them. Now there's also all of these zombies are AIs, so don't worry, they're not going to be like 100 players or so. However, once you do perish as a survivor, you'll basically turn into a zombie, which we'll go into later on. And as a Dynamite, your goal is to get as close as possible to a survivor to insta-kill them when you blow up in front of them. However, sometimes the hitboxes are a bit wonky to where you're literally in front of them, and you blow up and they're still alive somehow. So there's that, but relatively Dynamites can take up a ton of damage and you need to take them out as soon as possible, and especially from a far and safe distance away. Now that we've taken care of your basic enemies that you need to worry about, it's not super simple with just that. We have your health and food bar. Unlike Left 4 Survival, you also have to scavenge for food. So this is where the, oh god, I am hungry and hopefully my teammates have some food for me they can spare. And you may be thinking just getting like, I don't know, a chip bag is just good enough. However, you will basically grow hungrier and hungrier as time progressively goes on, and specifically whatever you eat will basically start to either benefit you for a while or benefit you for only like about 4 seconds or so. So basically, if you can't tell which one is which, I'm just gonna put which of which are, well, there by basically putting this. So yeah, you should basically get the hang of what I'm talking about. Now, there are specific food that can help you a lot, such as, for an example, a hot dog, which can literally regenerate around 60% of your food bar, and a bunch of other stuff that is very useful, such as, for an example, canned beans that can heal your food bar, and a bag of chips, water bottle, you name it. There's a bunch of other food that can really help you and to basically continuously regenerate your food bar. However, there's also a bit too much more to this food bar than you actually think. When your food bar gets all the way down to 0, you will immediately start taking damage and eventually starve to death. The only way to stop it is to either find food and find and eat food in order for the pain to stop, and to eventually find more food for your energy to bar go up, or you will die. Now, you can heal yourself with the medkit while you're taking damage from hunger depletion or whatever, but the thing is that you'll just take damage literally the next second, so just don't do it, So, relatively saying, always keep at least like some sort of bag of chips or water bottle in your inventory so you can make sure that you won't go hungry while you're literally in the middle of a horde. Also, I should point this out, for you to regenerate HP after you've taken damage from a zombie, you need to have more, or your hunger bar to be at least 50% or more in order for you to start regenerating health slowly. And if your hunger bar is less than 50%, you will not regenerate any HP until your hunger bar is more than 50%, or the actual 50%. So yeah, always make sure your hunger bar is literally 50% or more, ideally more. After we gone over, well, the health and food bar situation, let's go over how to fight these zombies, so you basically don't have to go in literally with only fists out trying to basically Mike Tyson them. So basically, there are a bunch of weapons all around the map. However, when you pick up these weapons, they obviously take a spot in your loadout or in your inventory. Oh, I forgot to mention, you can only have up to 3 items in your inventory. Yeah, you heard that right. 3 items in your inventory. The only way to get more is to either glitch the loadout, which I'm not going to get into right now, or you can basically go ahead and purchase, some more inventory slots, which you can have up to 6, which is good, I guess, since you can have a lot of stuff, in my opinion. So I would say you probably need like 4, like what's it called? Either 4 or 5, because like 3 is just not enough, especially when you have a gun, some food, and like some ammo you need to carry around. Also, that brings me to the other thing. Once you run out of ammo, there's no ammo station around the map that you can just easily walk to and just get more ammo. You will need to find these ammo boxes that are scattered around the map. Now, they can actually be pretty easy to actually locate since they're, dark green or whatever, and you can easily tell what they are immediately from like a far enough distance. However, they spawn randomly. But there are some locations where they 100% of the time spawn, so you can immediately head over there to reload your guns. However, they just don't spawn immediately after after you taken one. It usually takes like around a minute or so for one to respawn in the same spot where they 100% of the time spawn. However, if you found it in a spot where you're like, oh wow, an ammo box right here, I didn't even notice that, it might not spawn there again, and it'll just spawn like a random gun there. Speaking of which, there are a bunch of guns you can arrangeably choose from. There's about shotguns, snipers, assault rifles, submachine guns, and even miniguns that don't decrease your speed, which is amazingly good. Now, when you have a gun and your ammo box in your inventory, what you want to do is head over to your ammo box and immediately activate it with your guns in your inventory. This is incredibly crucial because if you have weapons that don't have any ammo on the ground or whatever, and you want to reload them, you need to make sure they are in your inventory, because when you activate your ammo box and those weapons are not in your inventory, you'll just get ammo for the only weapons that are in your inventory. So any weapons that are on the ground that you didn't pick up when you use your ammo box will not have any ammo. So make sure you have your ammo box with the weapons you need ammo for in your inventory at all times. Now, this is to basically take into consideration that you don't have to use the ammo box as soon as you get it, because you could just literally have it in your inventory and act as oh god, I'm out of ammo, let me just pop it out, boom, and instantly I have more ammo, So just don't use it all relatively the same, incredibly fast. Also, want to mention, there is a medkit around the map, which you may be thinking, oh, okay, it's just a medkit. Well, these are top tier good. Why? They instantly heal 100% of your HP upon activation, and there is no wait time. Just pop it and literally you're instantly healed. This is incredible when you're literally about to die. Pop it and instantly you're already 100% and literally are back into the fight within literally 1 millisecond. So it's always heavily required for you to have one medkit in your inventory at all times. It's not required, but it is very useful. Now that we've gone over to about where these weapons can be, such as for an example on roofs, behind boxes, under bridges and stuff like that, we're gonna get over the zombies side. So once you perish, you will be selected obviously to the 3 zombies: Crawler, Walker, and then Dynamite. Obviously, the Dynamite and Crawler have a cooldown of 1 minute only for you after you select them, and then you can basically select to use them again after that cooldown. While as a zombie, you have, well, basically, infinite food bar or whatever, and all you have to do is just find a survivor and eventually kill them and just repeat the process until every single survivor is eliminated. Pretty easy goal, really. However, these survivors have pretty strong weapons, such as the fact of an AA-12 literally being able to shoot as a minigun and being able to insta-kill you with a giant range of shotgun pellets. This weapon is insanely powerful and is top tier of S tier, literally. Now that we've gone over what your basic objective as a zombie is, we're going to be going over the maps that are basically in the game. Now, I might be forgetting some since it was a while ago since literally I played this, but basically there is the farm, the freeway, the city, the swamp, and the mansion, and also the docks. I hopefully got them all, and those are the maps that you are basically given to. Now, out of all of these maps, the absolutely hardest one is sewer. If you see people voting for sewer, you better hope that people don't actually the map is actually not voted to be the map you want to play on. This one barely has any food. This one has tight corners. This one has basically zombies everywhere, and eventually you'll have no ammo, no food, and you'll just starve or actually get eaten to death. Do not pick this map. It is insanely difficult, but it can be awesome to win on this map since it's very hard. However, it is an incredibly hard challenge, and I'm pretty sure newbie players cannot handle 1 minute for, yeah, basically. Now, some of the maps that are pretty good for you to pick on is, for an example, City, because there's lots of food, lots of places to basically hide, to fight off against the zombies, and places to really just look and to explore, to find and scavenge stuff. The Dogs is also a pretty good one since it's a giant one as well. Freeway is also a good one, so you might want to choose those ones. However, the farm one doesn't really have too many things in there, but I like that one too, since, you know, it's open and it's in a farm, or I don't know, that's all about it. So those are basically the maps and their disadvantages, or really just their advantages, really. Next is, well, something that you may not even know, which is when you're playing, you may see these teddy bears all around the map, and you may be thinking, oh, okay, just a random teddy bear. However, there's a bit more to these teddy bears. You see, when you collect one, aka just walk up to it or shoot at a teddy bear, you will be given a part, which looks oddly familiar. And there are 4 teddy bears around the map in every single match and in every single map. If you get all 4 teddy bears and you go to a specific, aka the only crafting station on the map, you are able to interact with it and eventually craft your weapon, the ray gun. This thing is an insta-kill for any and every single zombies, and get this, has infinite ammo and range. Literally, this is obviously the best and strongest weapon in the entire game, and incredibly overpowered. However, this weapon does not have splash damage, so it's not like an RPG, like, what's it called? Bullets, so you really have to, like, you know, aim or whatever. But the thing is, you can literally spam with this weapon and have infinite ammo, so it doesn't really matter. This weapon is insanely strong, however, it's pretty difficult to actually find, especially for newer players since they don't know where these teddy bears are. The only tips I can give you is to look behind stuff, look in the corners of specific places, and especially look high and low for these teddy bears, because they're mostly in these, what the hell, why would it be there locations, you know? Now that we've gone over literally every single thing you need to know in how to play the Apocalypse, we're going to be going over the many things I like and dislike about the game. Obviously, number one, I like the concept of literally you just spawning in, getting stuff, scavenging, being able to survive with people on your own, and basically trying to survive and hold out until morning, basically. And the fact that literally there are so many bugs, and to be honest, there are a lot of bugs in this game, so don't get too upset at that. And the fact that there's so many bugs just makes this game a little bit less than it needs to be. The bugs that I'm talking about are, what's it called? Specifically hitboxes, where infected zombie players can literally spam jump, and for whatever reason your shots won't be able to hit them, your bullets being invisible, you might randomly blow up as a dynamite, and basically the flare not even working. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the flare is a weapon that attracts every zombie like a pipe bomb, but just with no explosive. However, it's currently bugged to where it does nothing, like it doesn't even attract them, so don't pick it up at all. So there are a lot of bugs, especially the fact that weapons can just simply just despawn, and when you drop them, and literally just spawn at the top of the map that you can't even get to, and specifically weapons just floating in the air. There are many bugs, however, this isn't that bad since literally there are so many things to do, so many other ways to get around these bugs, such as get other weapons, or specifically just do other things really, and just basically say this game is incredibly good and fun. However, the bugs just make it a little bit less than it needs to be, but this does not change the fact that this game is very fun, and I'm really excited to see how this basically goes as a project. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next day or tomorrow. I don't know. God damn it.